everyone, this is Interstate 44, one of my favorite routes going towards St. Louis from the west. So right near the Interstate 270 loop. And it's almost 4 o'clock Central Time on Tuesday. So I expect the traffic to pick up a little bit over the next 15 miles before I turn onto Interstate 55. Hope everybody's doing well. Comment down below where you're watching this video from. It'll help me understand the audience a little bit better. So up here we have the 2 lanes that'll be exiting. Then you have the other cars merging on. Usually a lot of congestion when there's more traffic. So one alternative to going through St. Louis downtown is to take the 270 north, but you can see how backed up it is. About 3 weeks left before I move to Florida, probably the Daytona Beach area. I'm really looking forward to that now. So 3 more weeks of winter driving and then be able to relax for a couple of weeks. I'll have to transfer my CDL to Florida before I can return to work, so I'll probably have 2 weeks off, which will be a good break. Stopped in Sullivan, Missouri off of Interstate 44 for fuel, got a shower. But that was a quick 30-minute break. I gotta be careful about this guy merging on. He's distracted, you can tell. Probably on his phone. Speed limit is 60 miles per hour. As we get closer to Interstate 55, it'll drop down to 55 miles per hour. Okay, hopefully everything's better now. So my planned stop is only in about 2 more hours. And that's up near Bloomington, Normal, Illinois, off of Interstate 55, going to the Road Ranger there. Large open parking lot. Usually has parking available before 7 p.m. And most of the old school truckers use that truck stop instead of one of the big four, the Pilot, Flying J, the Loves, the Petro, and the TA. I believe there is a restaurant there, but I'm gonna grill up a T-bone tonight. Able to do a refit at a Walmart, so I got the steak and the pork chops again. Really enjoy having those. And tomorrow morning for breakfast I'll have coffee and bacon. Still have about 8.5 miles until Interstate 55. So this shipment was from Fort Worth, Texas, going to Oshkosh, Wisconsin. It's a 2-day trip in the middle of the week, not the best. So last night I stopped at about 9 o'clock off of US 75 there in Durant, Oklahoma at the Choctaw Travel Plaza. Another large truck stop that always has plenty of parking available. So for a 2-day trip, it's been decent. I think I've already done 500 miles today. I still have 2 hours remaining, so about a 650 mile day. I drove the first 7.5 hours straight to get to Sullivan, Missouri. Still have plenty of water, coffee. Still have plenty of food underneath the bunk. The receiver looks like it's a very tight area tomorrow morning, so I'll go ahead and document that with the head harness. Probably post that while I'm getting unloaded.
vehicle ahead.
It's always fun to go by the St. Louis Arch. Went up to the top of it when I was a kid. My mom took my brother and I to the top of the St. Louis Arch. There's the first view of it. Slowed down to 55 now. You can see everybody just flying by.
In 1.25 miles, keep left to I-45 north.
I gave a little bit extra space there. Wanted to be able to protect the vehicles approaching from the rear.
second lane from the left.
This is the St. Louis rush hour traffic.
In 1.5 miles, take exit
My car was
291A on the
pretty
right
brave
to
cutting through.
I-55 North.
Cutting through traffic like that. Fucking dick.
In 600 feet, use the middle lane to merge onto I-44 East, I-55 North.
Alright, now we can see the arch. Kind of.
Continue on I-44 East for 3/4 of a mile. There are stalled vehicles ahead.
then take the exit to I-55 North.
In 800 feet, use the second from the right lane to take exit 291A for I-55 North, I-64 East toward I-70 East, Illinois. Use the second from the right lane to take exit 291A.
Well, there's a very good view of the arch. Unintentional, but finally get to display it for all of you.
Continue on I-55 North for 3/4 of a mile.
Okay, that's a wrap. Until next time, see you, bye.